Hey guys and welcome back to another new What If here. Today we're doing What If Naruto was reincarnated into the world of High School DxD Part 1 ? So if you guys would like this to become a series, do tell me in the comments down below by simply either saying, next part 2, or continue. Something along those lines, and I will somewhat do it. Also, I know what I said in the last part, if any of you guys watched it, I know about 87 or so, around, I think either 60 or 80 people watched it. Anyway, yeah, so I said in there that today, Friday, would be when I would be uploading part 2, I think, or 3. 2 or 3, I think 3, of What If Naruto something became mannequin. Yeah, though that'll be uploaded. That'll be done and uploaded Monday. So yeah. Anyway, so with that out of the way, let's get into this one. So, Naruto would be walking with a similarly whitish, greyish, somewhat had person. Though at first glance, at the back, most people would think this person was potentially a kind of fat female, but no. Though this person was very much no female, no woman, this person was a male, and while most people, especially enemies, would probably pale when they would see if they ever dared to attack this person, as this person was none other than a drier, one of the 3 legendary Sanin, and Konoha's, and yeah, the Tote's Mount Miyaboku, and a proud super pervert, and yeah. Though Naruto was walking, seeing with him as tired, seemed finally have enough of Naruto, as you just go to as you'd push him similarly away. And yeah, though why was Naruto similarly walking or potentially talking with Jiraiya, who was clearly a very high, a important and person within the Naruto universe and the world of Shinobi? Well, quite simply, Jiraiya, or at least Naruto, had managed to succeed in getting Jiraiya to train him for a month. This month was a month gap between the second segment and the third segment of the tuning exams. And what are the tuning exams? Well, the tuning exams are for those genin, or shinobi, that are ranked as genin, to be ranked up to get a promotion to tuning through the tuning exams, as the tuning exams are a 3-stage event, with the first being a written part / information gathering mission. So cheating is allowed, but if you're caught cheating, points are deductive. And yeah, and the second part is a scroll retrieval and delivery mission. So you've got, you have to grab it, you have to get information and then deliver it back to somewhere. Then if there's too many that pass that, then there's a potential for a what would be known as preliminaries. These rarely don't often happen, simply because if there's there's only a finite amount, obviously, of hours in a day, and also the people that come to visit. Plus, some the Hokage can, sit down and watch, say, like 100 people, like 50 matches or 100 people, fight it out. And yeah, so it was more like maybe like 5, 6, maybe up to maybe 8 or 10 matches at most. And yeah, for the somewhat fast round, which was somewhat kind of allowed. And yeah, anyway, though, yeah, somewhat that. And yeah, though Naruto, though Naruto had made it through the first and second days, and the preliminaries, which was somewhat held, and somewhat was now, or at least had been somewhat training with Jiraiya, somewhat in trying to summon, somewhat toads. But not just simply small, toads, but gigantic, somewhat toads, easily mountains, somewhat it'd make a mountain look like just a little hill. And yeah, and somewhat, he kind of somewhat had been failing that out quite drastically. The thing he'd managed to be able to do was a tadpole with all 4 legs and a tail, and still have its tail. So it was in somewhat the very late stage of going, or at least from somewhat going from tadpole to toad. And yeah, though somewhat going back to what I had just done, Naruto would kind of somewhat trip over or at least stumble forward up until he'd managed to kind of stop, though, and he would somewhat immediately yell out, "Damn it, you damn old old pervert," And yeah, though he'd somewhat had fallen into a ravine, I had specifically done that simply for the fact, or at least his idea was that if Naruto was put into a life or death situation, which had seemed to have happened once before, he may somewhat successfully be able to draw on the Fox chakra or go into his mindscape, or somewhat the seal, and somewhat, take some amount of chakra from the Fox entity within inside of him, and then from there be able to successfully summon a big toad to save him, and hopefully give him a much better idea on how much chakra he would have to actually use. And yeah, though somewhat what he hadn't somewhat really thought was that Naruto's stubbornness. He didn't really think that his stubbornness would kind of get in the way, as though to his somewhat kind of horror and guilt, it would, as Naruto would fall constantly trying to summon somewhat a big toad to try and save him, or the somewhat could do was summon either a freaking tadpole, straight, quite literally no legs, to a, though the somewhat his last try did get him something, a actual toad, but a literal new day or 2 old toad from somewhat his tail coming off, and somewhat so Naruto did the last thing he did, and just shut and would somewhat clench his eyes shut, and the next thing he was somewhat did wait, but there was no pain or nothing. He still felt weightless, but he didn't feel the rush of simply falling and yes, so somewhat opening his eyes, he still saw somewhat blackness, but it wasn't actual somewhat dark. He could tell when he had his eyes shut and when he had them open, so it wasn't dark, it was black but not pitch black. And yeah. Though you'd then somewhat hear somewhat a voice which you'd ask, who are you? And it'd go, well, somewhat you'd call me somewhat Kami, a god. That would somewhat go wide-eyed and shocked, and the voice would simply state that you wasn't meant to die. You are, or at least somewhat you are there was a prophecy about you that would be, or at least somewhat you're the child of prophecy. Not go child of prophecy. What prophecy? Damn it. What prophecy? Well, somewhat in the future, you were meant to somewhat battle alongside your team and defeat a foe known somewhat as the Rabbit Goddess. Now, I would somewhat wonder if this person, entity, or that I'd lost it. No way, him, the dead lost in the cabin. No way you'd be somewhat a prophecy, child prophecy. Surely it's Sasuke. It's probably, so you kind of thought, even though it's somewhat hard to thought that, it made more sense in his mind that it would be like someone like Sasuke, an actual genius, or who had been labelled a genius, and that. And yeah, though the voice would say, though, because you wasn't meant to die yet, you was meant to live a long sort of life, though now that you're dead, well, I do have though an option for you, if you'd like to accept that, and I'd go, what is that? And say out loud, and it'd go, well, I can kind of reincarnate you, reincarnate. What? In others, I can somewhat give you life once more, and somewhat in others bring you back to the somewhat living world. They've got, really? You could bring me back to life? No. I can't bring you back to life. I can somewhat give you new life. So I can somewhat make a new body. In other words, somewhat for you to somewhat inhabit. So you'd go back through being, somewhat a newborn one to age up. Though there is one other thing, there is one kind of downside. What's that? Well, you won't be able to I can somewhat reincarnate you into another universe, and that, but I can't somewhat bring you back. I can't bring you back to somewhat life in your current world that you know. Not that someone would look down, and you'd go, and what if I somewhat don't accept it? Well, you'll somewhat move on to the somewhat other world, where you'll somewhat be with your mum. Don't you mean, where's somewhat my dad? He's sacrificed his soul somewhat to the Shinigami, so he'll forever be within the stomach of the Shinigami. So you'll only somewhat ever spend your somewhat time with your somewhat mum. That would somewhat look down and simply and he'd somewhat sigh, though he would, but he'd sort of sign, and I can't exactly promise you, but I can at the very least somewhat know that you'll somewhat actually have parents who won't initially being open. Initially, well, in other words, you'll at least have your parents for about a year. I can't promise any longer than that. Yeah, so Naruto would sort of think about it. You could have new parents that would indeed be there for him for at least guaranteed a year, and after that they could die or whatever. And yeah, I know there's anything to label him an orphan, but yeah. And he'd seemingly go to another world, and though Karen state that this world has seen war, but it's only had seen 2 wars. Well, that was somewhat a lie. It technically had seen 3, but that was only officially 2 kind of somewhat great wars in a way. And, yeah, now to somewhat think about that, somewhat a world where he wouldn't have to kill. And yeah, you'd somewhat end up, saying, okay, so you'd like to be reincarnated. Hi, you'd somewhat say. And yeah, and so the voice would go, well then, hope you enjoy your new chance at life, and hopefully you'll live for at least a lot longer. Now then, farewell Naruto Uzumaki, and enjoy your new chance at life. And somewhat with that, Naruto would somewhat, vision would seemingly or at least would somewhat black out, and when or at least did seemingly feel like he'd opened up his eyes again, or at least it'd feel like he seemingly couldn't. He felt wet, warm, and also pressure all around him. He could barely move. Where the hell was he? Why couldn't I move? Why can't I move? Where am I? Something. And yeah, he couldn't make any noise, and why can't I breathe? Am I gonna die already? And something. And yeah, you could somewhat hear a muffled voice or muffled voices. And, well, yeah, those after a few seemingly seconds, he'd store feeling tight. Though he'd gotten close enough to where he could make out almost a kind of slight voice saying one, or at least he could barely make out these words of hard push and head, or head and push, something like that. And yeah, he was confused up until all of a sudden there was no pressure around his head, and at that it managed and yeah, and it'd go, come on, I've got the head, one more push, one more good push, and that'll be it. And yeah, and the seemingly one would do as said, and yeah, somewhat at that though, and well, yeah, though as Naruto would be able to open up his eyes, he'd realise, he'd immediately realise that he was in the hospital, and the person in front of him, and seeing a odd thing, coming out between her low. He'd mentally realise he'd just been born. He'd literally just experienced birth, and yeah, I can believe it. But and, yeah, And yeah, somewhat from there, and from that time would go by, and yeah, whilst it was somewhat annoying learning, somewhat having to relearn how to somewhat crawl, walk, read, write, speak, and yeah, though, and also somewhat go to school, which was apparently in this somewhat wild actual law that you had to go to school, as in, well, somewhat it was from it, wasn't, it was optional, and yeah, and somewhat this similarly wild in this day and age it was, and yeah, though, somewhat sadly, though the somewhat summer after his 11th birthday, being, he'd somewhat, though he'd been born somewhat in the somewhat days of about somewhat, well, either January, February, March, or April. Yeah. You guys pick whatever day whatever month you'd like him to be born in. Yeah. Though he'd been born on one of those somewhat. Well, it was on the summer of his somewhat 11th, after his 11th birthday. So yeah, he knew, or at least somewhat after the summer he'd be going into somewhat high school, and though he was somewhat kind of excited to get home, as well, somewhat whilst he didn't have no chakra, it was hard to have no chakra, no kind of inner energy. It was weird, some kind of what, but he'd gotten used to, somewhat it. After all, he'd been there for 11 years, so he'd gotten used to it, and yeah, though one thing he had been doing was somewhat kind of training, doing exercises, and also somewhat sword practice, doing somewhat sword practice. Somewhat why sword practice? Well, his dad seemingly ran a computer company. His mum, who seemingly believed in God, who was somewhat religious, though his dad and kind of he wasn't. He knew that similarly in his old world Kami existed, but he didn't know about this world. After all, two different worlds, and yeah. And well, yeah. So his mum, even though she believed in God, was one somewhat of a sword. She somewhat she enjoyed practicing and that sort of a sword, and she decided to somewhat pass it down, or at least went out and ask if she was willing to train him in it. Granted, he was about 3, though she'd told him that once he gets to slightly older, so 4 to 4.5, 5 years old, she would do so, and she kept her promise. And yeah, though while they were going home from, they were coming home from Europe, or more specifically from the airport, as her mum, his mum, they had gone to a Kento tournament in Europe, more or less. His mum was partaking in said tournament, and yeah, though his mum would ask him what he was going to do, or at least what he was going to do when he'd state, well, he was asked you to maybe train a bit, or probably do some push-ups and that, and yeah, he'd nod at that, and next thing they'd know was or at least next thing you'd know was his dad would let out some classes, and telling someone pretty much, shutting out like idiot, somewhat, stuff as there was a somewhat, or at least there's a car, or at least coming at them on the other side of the road, seemingly trying to either somewhat take over or something like that, but it's clear the person wasn't paying too much attention, or thought they could make it, but sadly it wouldn't be, and well, the next thing that I would somewhat know was the sound of somewhat beeping, and something groaned. Though hearing the somewhat beeping and the rhythm of it, you'd realise it was no alarm clock, and so certain eyes would flutter open and you'd realise he was in the hospital, and realising that, and someone stamping his head from side to side, well, it was his parents, and he'd start calling out for his mum and his dad, surely they'd to be somewhere, and while he'd somewhat hear the door open after a minute or so of calling, shouting out for his parents. He somewhat looking somewhat over, he knew this person definitely wasn't his mother or his dad. Well, clearly wasn't his dad as it was female, but definitely wasn't his mother, as it was by a nurse. And someone should go, you're alright. You're actually alright. That would somewhat, or at least somewhat feeling dread, start to really now somewhat build up and eat up at him. He'd start really, quite though, he'd ask where his parents were, and though somewhat the kind of way she seemingly somewhat slightly stiffened, and that, or someone he didn't want to believe it. His instincts, his shinobi instincts, somewhat kicking in after 11 years, and someone couldn't believe it, and all those who'd somewhat shut the door, and she'd go, I'm sorry, Naruto, but your parents, they're that dead. And it's like tears. No, you're lying. You're just. She'd somewhat walk over to him, the nurse would, and would simply somewhat go to him, going, I'm sorry, we did our best, but they died, and they're in a bad place now. And Naruto just broke down crying, and he'd spend about somewhat a month in the hospital, and somewhat after that, when he'd get out, there'd be somewhat a funeral, though somewhat a couple of days. It was a couple of days after that, about 3 to 4 days afterwards, though he'd somewhat go a somewhat classroom, a somewhat school friend of his, to kind of somewhat stay with, and 4 days later, he'd somewhat be kind of at the he'd be there somewhat at the funeral, and whilst other people, he'd somewhat the burial, and that was now somewhat past, and though whilst people somewhat of the friend, or at least the somewhat friends of the somewhat family of somewhat talking that, and he did know somewhat pretty much all of them that were there, most of them, though I personally didn't really sort of remember or recognise at all, when someone would come up and he'd go, Naruto, though Naruto somewhat would kind of look at the person and go, who are you? I don't someone going to recognise you, as you'd slightly somewhat kind of inch back there. You'd go, I presume you sort of pretended you were somewhat just a baby when somewhat when when I somewhat saw you, Naruto would sort of throw his eyebrows, trying to indeed remember, but yeah, he'd somewhat cuss, and yeah, you could remember a few things, like literally being born, but for whatever reason, he couldn't really sort of remember. His memories up until about the age of 3 to 4 were flaky at best. And though he'd seemingly put a hand something into his pocket and pull out what he knew as, or at least somewhat in this day and age, a seemingly phone, and he'd somewhat seemingly press a few buttons, and or at least things on it, then somewhat go, how do you recognise me? I just have to go, he'd sort of go, why Dad, as somewhat he would, he'd seen that picture before, and he'd go, you're the redhead person. And yeah, he'd sort of go, yes. Yeah. And yeah. Somewhat a friend of, and somewhat did introduce himself as somewhat Sash, and as somewhat Xerxes, and somewhat to Lucifer, and Naruto would obviously somewhat kind of thing, Naruto would somewhat kind of nod, and he'd somewhat ask the boy if he'd offer him a kind of apartment, somewhat living for somewhat free. Naruto would be surprised at that, and they would somewhat talk for a bit, mainly Naruto trying to somewhat kind of spat, or at least Naruto wasn't obviously all for taking about some somewhat stuff for somewhat free, and as somewhat he'd grown to realise in the shinobi world, or at least the somewhat few months he was in the shinobi world, that you don't get anything for someone for free, and and something likewise, even much more in this world, he truly didn't, as somewhat he had to keep up somewhat his kind of score in somewhat by his grades in sort of school, and anyway, and so to continue to be somewhat for his mother to somewhat train him in swordsmanship and that, and though seemingly fine, they would somewhat finish, and from there about 4 years, about 4 to 5 4 years would go by, as Naruto would be somewhat 15. Would he be it'd be about, say, somewhat 16 years old, as you would as somewhat though he'd be 16, and he'd be somewhat kind of staring at, or at least looking at himself somewhat in the mirror, seemingly looking over some of his clothes, and so he was, today he'd be starting something to do school, as the summer had literally just ended, and so it'd be the first day of the somewhat school year, and his somewhat first year somewhat at one what, damn it, I forget the school's name, one sec. Kuro sort of academy. It was his though I did somewhat kind of make sure somewhat everything was somewhat right. Did also kind of, or at least something to think back on kind of sort of what had happened not 4 years ago, and kind of 5 years ago, and where he was somewhat now. He was and meeting somewhat such as Lucifer, and a person who had given him somewhat he'd not have gone to a somewhat a school or two, as he had as well, it'd been somewhat the first kind of high school while going somewhat with his friends, obviously somewhat being somewhat always being kind of orphaned and that. Some didn't really seemingly want to kind of somewhat really kind of befriend him and that, and even his other friends had started to kind of slowly sort of go away. So though somewhat after a while, and after switching a few schools, he finally landed in Kuro Academy, which was an academy, or at least which was once an all-girls school about 6 or so years ago. So around about a year, about a year prior to his seemingly, or at least his parents' demise, the academy had transitioned from an all-girls school to a co-ed school, and which he'd somewhat now and he'd somewhat dubbed the academy the pervert paradise, or something like the perverted paradise, as pretty much due to the somewhat female to male ratio being somewhat high. So there was more girls than there were boys in the sort of academy or school. It pretty much somewhat meant that there were probably a good chance that the person next to you in class was probably a pirate, and and so those would kind of shake his head off those sort of thoughts, and he'd go into his kind of living room living room, and would grab his bag, which would have his lunch in, as he'd prepared that about an hour or two ago. Why an hour or two ago, and why he was up so early? Well, quite simple. He'd started doing his morning routine, which was or at least a morning jog of about a mile long morning jog. Then after that, push-ups, sit-ups, press-ups, squats, anything to build up muscle and that, and stamina. And then once he'd done all of those, to finish it off, a 2-mile run. And after that, he'd then or at least stop for 5 seconds to try and get his breath back, and then stretch, or at least walk about for a few seconds to really get his breath back, or at least enough of his breath back to start doing stretches. And then after that, he'd go back home, have a shower to wash off the stench and that of his sweat, and then he'd get dressed, and though why simply wasn't doing a 2 or 3 mile jog and then that as a run, or double that as a run. Quite simple. He would wear weighted clothing, and And so he always made sure that or at least his red clothing would always take him to where he'd be somewhat kind of huffing and ride, so I'd be just barely able to do the 2-mile somewhat run, and it'd be just laps around a park or that, or a block up until he equaled to somewhat 2 miles. And yeah, though due to the closeness of the park in Kura Academy, in the town or whatever, city or whatever, somewhat Kura Academy is situated, so at the end he'd just somewhat go, he'd do somewhat his routine there before then obviously going home, and yeah. Anyway, though somewhat he'd unzip a kind of side pocket slightly, or at least somewhat enough to be able to put similarly something in with some ease. And yeah, from there, so he'd go to his front door, putting his somewhat bag on his somewhat bag. He'd put his shoes on, get back up, unlock his front door, someone grab the keys out the door, relock, someone exit his apartment, lock it, then put his keys in his bag, zip that, would zip the small pocket up, and then head towards school. And yeah, his first day was, well, definitely wasn't like somewhat kind of any, well, it was somewhat like some of the other academies where it had been somewhat taken round, or they'd somewhat, well, not really taken round, but they somewhat spoke. Well, not they, or at least the person who got the highest on the entrance exam, which ironically somewhat he did, so yeah, those he didn't really speak as, it would be the or at least it would be the student council, the head of the student council that would, or somewhat or at least currently that was the current student council in Kura Academy, that would somewhat speak and welcome them to the academy. And after that, they would sort of go out, break up into their sort of class groups, and go to some their classroom. And from there, the teachers would somewhat introduce themselves and, somewhat, and yeah, mainly some of the kind of rules of the academy, and also, somewhat about the groups and the clubs, like after school clubs and that, and to somewhat, and yeah, so today generally somewhat, still did obviously somewhat learn some things, and yeah, though, one thing you somewhat kind of surprised at, obviously somewhat in the world, it was from, the world had gone, his sort of world had gone through 3 great shinobi wars, yet, this world had gone through only 2 world wars, and the last one was, 80 or so, 80, 90 years ago, and the one before that was 100, going on to sort of 100 or so years sort of ago, and yeah, he was just, surprised that it had only been, 2 world wars, because in his one, there was almost a war every 10 or so years. Yet it didn't really seem so. That, and apparently the First World War was somewhat the Great War. It was known as the Great War, the war to end all wars, or most commonly known as World War One. And the reason why it was called the Great War was because it was potentially the first time that or at least potentially all the nations of the planet Earth had fought, either alongside one another or that, against some sort of enemy, be that another country. And yeah, and then of course, 10, 15, 20 years after that, whenever World War II happened, and anyway, though Naruto had found kind of this world's history a lot more fascinating. Whilst the world was bathed in blood, it wasn't bathed in as much blood compared to his sort of world. Yet he also found the technology of this world incredible, just how advanced the world was. Nuclear bombs, portable communication devices. So they had that as in sort of radios and that. Yet they had it, in phones, and yeah, you just find it all, sort of incredible. And like game boxes sort of portable. Sort of portable game station. And so some stuff his world was slowly kind of somewhat developing, but was, from what you could tell, was at least hundreds of years off. And yeah, heck, so in his, he somewhat wouldn't know about. Actually, yeah, no, he would know about trains, or would he? No, he wouldn't. Yeah. Anyway. Actually, no, he would, because it was only him, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi. No other team was sent to aid them, I believe. Yeah, no other team, yeah, so it would just be somewhat them. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, so he somewhat potentially may know about trains and that, and yeah, that was, pushing, like the latest technology, steam train yet. In this world, besides from Japan, which, had some, bullet train and that, it was kind of almost seen as somewhat slightly obsolete. They had ships that, sailed across the seas, planes, jets and that could fly across the entire planet in about a day. And yeah, it was incredible, to him. And also crafts that could go underwater, submarines. He was, fascinated by everything. And yeah. And so, wanting to know somewhat kind of everything, and that he was actually, when, you instead of skipping school, what he may have kind of somewhat done if it wasn't for his mother's kind of really somewhat thing, he was highly somewhat actually smart this time around. He was, very smart. Some people would label him maybe a genius or that, although he was no genius. He just learned. Yeah, he just studied incredibly hard to understand rocketry, submarines, how submarines work, buoyancy, radiation, thermodynamics, electricity, thunder, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, stuff that his world was slowly again developing, and some stuff somewhat that he could, read upon, but it never really, kind of interested him. Yet now it kind of did seem just how advanced the world was. And yeah. And so I think it, and yeah. Anyway. Though somewhat he'd, or at least somewhat unknowingly, had been kind of put up, or at least somewhat in a classroom with somewhat three pirates, very pirates, who somewhat dubbed them probably somewhat the trio of definitely somewhat pirates, and the greatest one among them and the leader of the trio was somewhat Issei, who somewhat noted somewhat Issei as a second coming of Jiraiya, because somewhat Issei's dream was, to become a harem king, and yeah, though somewhat maybe in his world, somewhat if Issei was somewhat born in his world, he could have become a harem king, but this, this round, yeah, you'd be killed potentially. Maybe not quite killed, but it'd definitely be potentially looked down upon. And yeah, though there is still, as long as the girls agreed to share you, you could technically marry one of them, you just couldn't marry all of them. And yeah, anyway though, though that's somewhat kind of to his slight somewhat annoyance and that, somewhat a year would go by, and of course it would mean he would be in his second year, and well, he'd also somehow had wound up befriending Issei, and yeah, he had no idea how or that had happened. He just wound up befriending him, and yeah. Though as he'd somewhat be going to his as he'd kind of get up similarly somewhat from classes, somewhat Issei would be kind of similarly he'd kind of be somewhat sitting there as somewhat Issei would be kind of asking similarly somewhat friends about a girl or that, and yeah, he wasn't really paying too much attention up until someone Issei came over and go, Naruto, do you by any chance remember a girl? And say the name, I forgot her name. But yeah, he would Naruto would someone shake his head, going, sorry, say something down. He said, sorry, and go, damn it, why doesn't no one remember that I had a girlfriend? Or maybe it was just a dream. Now to go, huh? Girlfriend? That was your girlfriend's name? He'd pipe up and saying, he said, blink and go, huh? So you do know? He'd down, you do know? He'd stare at Issei and go out, no, you just told me her name, and then proceeded to seemingly do kind of like he was grabbing breast, and proceeded to kind of go on about her breast and that, to which Issei would go red in the face and would go, okay, that's enough. And there's kind of enough. And yeah, to which Naruto just kind of somewhat amusedly shakes his head, though he'd wave goodbye to Issei. So then Naruto, and from there he'd go to his locker, grab his bag and that, and head on seemingly somewhat to home, though he'd as he'd grab his bag and that, he'd unzip a pocket and would pull out his phone. And yeah, though zipping that said pocket back up, he'd open it up to see if he had any messages from about, just in case he may, Lucifer may have similarly texted him for whatever reason, as he only had two contacts in his phone, one being Lucifer, and that's his last name. Which is Lucifer, and the other now being Issei. And yeah, though seeing a message, and after pushing a few buttons, he'd read it, as he'd simply go, hey Naruto, what is reading this? I'm currently at your apartment. He'd just simply go, okay, I'm out, and I may still be there, just, though, now to read it and would respond with just, okay, I'll be home in about 5 or so minutes, and from there, you'd then receive a ping a couple of seconds later, to which he'd read, and he'd see smiley, smiley face, in your living room. And from there, about 5 minutes later, Naruto would arrive home, and walking in, he'd sort of said that he was back, and so yeah, granted he'd never really sort of said that since his parents' passing, but knowing that sort of says as well Lucifer was sort of in, he'd sort of say that, and yeah, and so sort of he'd sort of come out from the sort of living room and would sort of greet Naruto. Naruto would sort of greet him back, and would sort of finally finish taking his shoes off, sort of get up, and yeah, sort of after making sure the door was locked, he'd sort of walk into the sort of living room, and they would sort of talk for a bit, and also turn on the portable game station. They'd sort of play a few games, though. Yeah, those sort of eventually, after about 2 to 3 hours, sort of Lucifer would sort of tell him that he'd kind of have to go now, and yeah, though Naruto kind of those sorts of Naruto kind of remembering the sort of question he sort of had, or at least the question popped into his head, and asked him sort of why he was kind of stopping sort of by today, as he'd stopped by about 2 or so weeks ago, to which he'd go, my sort of sister had I was kind of sort of meeting up sort of with my sister, to which he'd just nod, and yeah. So, well, yeah, sort of Lucifer had given him sort of the chance a year ago when he sort of, doing something in the summer when he'd moved into that. Sort of Lucifer had sort of asked Naruto if he'd like to kind of meet, meet his sister, so that he'd at least know one person in, the Kuro Academy, to which he'd shake his head, saying that. Yeah, I'm just sort of shaking his head, sort of in the negative. And yeah, though, yeah. Anyway, from there, he would, though somewhat looking out at something, the kind of somewhat evening turning somewhat night, he'd started to sort of walk around, and after somewhat a while, he'd turn the corner, as it kind of somewhat gotten somewhat darker now, or somewhat darker, and somewhat to his somewhat almost horror, he'd see Issei on the ground, dead, with a hole through him, somewhat, and a person seemingly somewhat walking away. Naruto would some momentarily go wide-eyed, and then he'd go, and then his some instincts would almost click in, and he'd run after that person. He'd go, "Hey, somewhat, you how dare you?" Somewhat, pat Issei, and the person would somewhat blink, he'd turn around, and he'd go, though he wouldn't be able to get somewhat anything out, as somewhat down-weighted clothing and running for about 2 miles. I'd given him obviously up speed and that, so just as the person would somewhat manage to start, or at least stop and kind of turn around after somewhat sighing, though he'd be a bit too slow to see who it was, as he would just get smashed into the door, which would actually kind of make the person sort of stumble back a bit, and the person mainly would somewhat trip over his own feet, and would somewhat hit the ground, and he'd somewhat growl. And he'd be somewhat momentarily kind of put into, surprised. Someone, a human, hurt him. It actual somewhat hurt. You humans were weak creatures. What was this one? And and then somewhat, and how dare trying, defend a seemingly some, demon. He was a demon lover, and though he'd go somewhat why you, though, as he'd get up, the person to someone, as he'd get up to go and attack Naruto, he'd freeze and he'd go, and Grammary. Naruto would somewhat blink and go, huh? I'm no Grammary, not you, the person behind you. Naruto would somewhat, though he'd want to look back, but he wouldn't, knowing from sort of his academy, or well, not just his canon days, but his shinobi days as well. You never took your eye off your opponent. The second you do, you are dead. That was it. If this person was more than happy with, fine, happy, so I'm fine, happy/fine with, killing Israel, wouldn't give a damn about, killing him, so, yeah, keep an eye on him. Yeah, they're not doing something meant to class about, the somewhat laws about, not being able to, carry sort of weapon or that. Granted, he could carry a sword if he sort of had it wrapped up, but that was just somewhat annoying, and yeah. Anyway, though the person would kind of go with somewhat stand, somewhat similarly said grammar would somewhat start back. Though the person would go, you're damn sort of lucky, you human. As Naruto would somewhat witness just somewhat wings, black feathers, come out from the person's back, and then proceed to just casually fly away. And yeah. Then remember that there was someone behind him would turn around and would go and would somewhat just blink, and he'd know this person. This person was the somewhat a third year somewhat student reincarnated. Yeah, and so-called somewhat one of the two similarly somewhat most beautiful girls in the entire Cure Academy. And yeah, though you really somewhat didn't care, and to be honest, you didn't really think they were all that cute, or at least somewhat, nice looking, all that. And yeah, though they'd somewhat stare kind of at one another, though, and finally somewhat both Reese would finally go, sort I'm Reese, Grammary, sort and you, that would sort of blink and you'd kind of shake your head, sorry, I'm sort of Naruto Rose, and yeah. Yes, you'd somewhat nod at that, and well, yeah, Naruto somewhat would kind of look at Issa, and he just somewhat just close his eyes as he'd just sigh, going, I'd just first them now him. Yeah, those somewhat Reese would somewhat hear, or at least the him part is. Well, yeah, or at least it would be the somewhat ones you'd be able to make out the clearest, and would since that Issei wasn't dead yet, and they'd be fine in the morning. That would ask how, and she'd somewhat sigh and would somewhat tell him to that or at least tomorrow after school, so doing when clubs and that was somewhat be active. She'd send a sort of person, or at least to him though, to somewhat come and, or at least something, to bring him to sort of the club as she was the president. Though she would sort of ask now to what classes into it, she'd just point sort of at Issei and state that we're in the same classroom. She'd nod at that, and yeah, and she'd just somewhat. And from there, he would simply pick up some Issei and would somewhat start walking off. Now would kind of also walk somewhat to kind of home, more somewhat kind of jog, then run home. And once he'd sort of get home, he'd then somewhat open up his phone, or at least grab his phone, open it up, and would immediately dial somewhat search his Lucifer. Well, we would have dialed some, Issei, but Issei was the one that was, had a hole, something in his stomach. So, yeah, it was his only other somewhat friend, searched his Lucifer, and with that, he'd dial the somewhat number, Ollie's press on contact and would press what call, and yeah, after a second or two it starts ringing, and a couple of seconds, or 2 to 3 seconds later, he'd sort of pick it up, going, Naruto, I can sort of help you, is everything okay? As he'd left the boy, a few hours ago. At least 2-3 hours ago, and yeah. Though Naruto would sort of state that if he could potentially maybe sort of come over, or at least he'd say, I'm sorry for something bothering you though, could you by any chance want to come over? I've sort of witnessed something that you may not believe. And sort of hearing that, he'd immediately sort of know that Naruto was now aware of the the supernatural world. Though he'd tell Naruto that he'd be there in about 30 minutes, and yeah, Naruto would just go okay. And yeah, with that, so just would sort of hang up the phone, and he'd sort of call in his wife and kind of head maid and queen of his press group, and yeah, from there he would tell his wife that tell his wife. His wife would know that, once a month, Lucifer had, gone to the human world to check up and on a human. And yeah, though somewhat being called, of course, called in was definitely somewhat not exactly at first, obviously, but yes, it was just somewhat curious. So it's asked, and he'd explain that his, or at least the boy lads, kind of, or at least, would check up on every month. Had potentially kind of, saw something that had brought him into the world of the somewhat supernatural world, and all that he's aware of it now. And yeah, and that he also had a hunch that Reese may have a role to play in it, to which Gracious, is that her name? That's his wife would, Grafia would state that they didn't she didn't believe that kind of sister-in-law Reese had, or at least had somewhat of a role to play in it, which, or at least somewhat such is deciding, or at least somewhat kind of deciding to take the opportunity, would go, say bet some money, to which she'd would think about and go sure, and yeah, of course he'd realise that, well, after playing any game that had chance or luck to it, Naruto won. He had the freaking devil's luck, and ironic, as Lucifer was the devil. He was the, well, not really devil. Well, he was the demon. No, yes, devil lord. And yeah. Anyway. And well, yeah. And he'd figured that anyone that dared to, or at least try and bet against Naruto generally lost, so you were worth betting on Naruto to win whatever than to lose. Though then again, some situations were better to lose than to win, so it depended on the situation. And this one, he'd betted on Naruto, or at least Reese being involved somehow. And yeah, and so 30 minutes later, granted it wouldn't take them obviously 30 minutes, but it would wait around about 30 minutes, as well. It would be kind of odd to go, I'll be I'll be there, somewhat soon, and appear there, a minute at most later, Naruto knew, sort of Sarastes didn't, sort of Lucifer didn't live anywhere that, sort of near him. Yeah, at least, half an hour or so kind of, potentially may make some sense. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Though, yeah, so, as I said, somewhat half an hour later, a knock would come at his door, and Naruto would go and sort of open it, to which he'd see another person. Of course, he'd sort of see, Sarastes Lucifer, and so they'd introduce Naruto to his wife, who would sort of be in kind of in a sort of maid's outfit, as you'd sort of the head maid to the sort of the home, and also the queen of his sort of peerage. Yeah. Anyway, with from there, he'd of course let them in, and they would, Naruto would explain to him, or at least he'd explain to them that once Lucifer had left, he'd gone out for a walk, and some obviously time later, and though about an hour or at least there, though as Naruto sort of finished kind of telling them, Naruto would go, and that's kind of something I turned around as I now potentially knew that was a person behind me, this this glamoury sort of person, to which Lucifer would somewhat mentally, somewhat cheer, and somewhat do won some money from his wife. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So somewhat. Yeah. So from there. Well, yeah. Though sorted. Though somewhat dude. Other than that, I would sort of stay, that you always started never always turn, you'd never sort of look away from sort of an enemy, as well, the second you do was the second you could very much die. It was stupid to look away from your enemy. Yeah, they both would somewhat nod, and from there, Lucifer would state, well, the glamoury person, which Naruto would state, well, yes, as sort of after I'd turn around, you'd sort of finish it off, and they would somewhat talk, and you'd go, somewhat Reese is actually my sort of sister, my sort of little sister. You'd blink and go, huh? But your name's not Reese, somewhat Lucifer. He'd somewhat chuckle, and he'd go, I know that, then. After he'd somewhat turn to somewhat Gracia, to which she'd shake her head, and she'd state that she'd married into the Grammarly family, and it'd be somewhat confused, as it'd state that the person he'd thought was a somewhat fallen angel, to which Naruto would go, wait, then if that person's sort of fallen angel, then do you mean that there are, sort of angels, somewhat, to which he'd nod, and both of them would somewhat nod, and he'd somewhat let a kind of groan / sigh, to which he'd then sort of say, so then if there's sort of angels, fallen angels, demons, I guess, or devils. Yeah, though to which they'd somewhat nod and go, well, devils turn into demons. And not to crack an eyebrow like that, as Lucifer would state that he and his entire family were sort of devils, as he'd perceived to show off his sort of wings and so would Grave, Grave, and yeah, it would be somewhat taken aback, and yeah, he wouldn't even somewhat be surprised. He would just somewhat noddy. Well, yeah, after literally seeing a fallen angel, something something he's from around that had, something in his old world, he had a fucking, something, a giant, earth-ending fucking fox sealed inside of his gut. Something, chocolate, that. Sort, yeah. Though, yeah, well, yeah. Though Greyfo would state that he was taking it somewhat kind of, while he was somewhat taking it seemingly somewhat easily, and it Shrug stating that what was there to somewhat be surprised he'd seen, sort of kind of fallen angel that, and be say kind of, well, he's someone having a hole right through him, and somehow this, being able to heal him and that, and yeah. And seemingly somewhat this being, or at least though, he'd actually, though, so I do then sort of look to, Lucifer, to which he'd go, right, I didn't fully somewhat explain how I'm sort of relating to her, to which Greyfo would somewhat, speak up, stating that, and somewhat to explain about the Great War, to which Naruto would go, how does World War One, go into this, to which she'd go, not the sort of human war, in the sort of world of the supernatural, there is somewhat only, well, or at least sort of one war, which is the Great War, that we refer it to, though the humans refer to World War One to a Great War as well as the War to End All Wars. That one's kind of named, this is just named as the Great War. And so they'd, she'd somewhat to explain, and and how such as Lucifer had, or at least somewhat had, went from being such as Lucifer, or at least, how he went from being a Grammy to taking up the place as somewhat a Lucifer. And and so from there Naruto would somewhat nod, and they would though from there somewhat they would somewhat explain somewhat to Naruto about somewhat the EVP system, and how humans and other beings, which Naruto would go, other beings, you mean like fallen angels and angels and that, and go, those potentially maybe some gods, some other gods and not gods. They would somewhat nowadays they would somewhat run, or at least not, or at least you'd say that pretty much like the Roman, the Roman gods for not Lucifer, Loki, those were all real as well, and to which Naruto would somewhat nod that, and so after so that Naruto would somewhat ask what was the some benefits as he somewhat obviously somewhat that with obviously something that Reese would probably maybe somewhat try and ask him to join her peerage, maybe, to which somewhat they, or at least somewhat says his kind of somewhat forgetting, though somewhat his wife Grave something one, and would somewhat state that, or at least the EVP system, like somewhat pretty much took inspiration from the game, the human game chess, and so I know about that, and though the benefits, those should go well. Each peace does have its kind of own unique benefit, but the overall benefits is living, you'd be kind of reborn as a demon, so after get reborn into not literally kind of go through the whole birth, then someone grown up. You'd just be like, your body would be turned into a demon, a devil. Yeah, though as I was saying, you'd somewhat live a longer life, and you'd also get access to kind of or at least get access to a demonic kind of power. And yeah, that and that and you'd be at least a devil, and a low ranking devil, though once you became a high ranking devil, you yourself would or at least can get the chance, get the offer to have your own peerage if you want, so you could have your that would take that all in, and yeah, those should then see sound out about or at least that the king was obviously the peerage leader, the queen, and would rantle off about the queen and the knight, rook. What's the other? I know it's pawn. What's the other one? Knight. Bishop. Yeah, so rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, pawns. And yeah, that would go, so there would be in other words 16 people in total. Should go, well, yes and no. That would put an eyebrow on that, and should explain that each pass, or at least a person could take more than one piece. And that, and that would go, so in other words, a person could take 2, 3, 4, or even all 8 pawns to be resurrected and turned into a devil, to which they would nod at, and yeah, now they would think about it, and if we got the the race offered, and yeah, though he would end up though after a bit it'd go, well, I guess I'd join her. They'd kind of blink momentarily, and he'd go, and those Greyfo would go, you'd somewhat give up your humanity, and that would go, well, somewhat sure, well, yeah, so I'm pretty much kind of somewhat all alone, and whilst even though I may be a slave to Lucifer would cut Naruto off quite somewhat sharply, and Naruto would slightly flinch, and it'd though Greyfo would send him a gland, he'd go, sorry for that, but while it's true, most devils will see it as a servant, we, the Grammy family, do not see it as a servant. When you join a peerage, or at least if the king is a Grammy, then we treat our peerage like a family. Naruto would kind of go would nod at that, and yeah, so if I had to join them, you'd be well, yeah, like I guess a brother in a way. And yeah, we'd all treat you, or at least the Grand family would treat you like you are a family member, and Naruto would get teary-eyed at that, as and you'd actually kind of jump at the two of them, bring the both of them into a hug. And yeah, of course, Grave I did know about Naruto, or at least some of Naruto's parents' deaths and that, and yeah, mainly from sort of loose, well, yeah, so it's just telling her, and well, yeah. Anyway, sort of from there, though Naruto would sort of ask that if he does join them, by sort of any chance, if they had somewhat any magic books to which Lucifer would somewhat somewhat scratch his head trying to sort of think, when Greyfur would sort of nod and would kind of ask him sort of why though, to which he'd state that he'd somewhat train, as he doubtful that they would maybe train them initially in magic, to which he'd go, well, yeah, so I have a point there, and would sort of nod and go, well, I can drop the books off tomorrow, so after the academy night, and once you're out of the, and once the club and that is over with, and well, yeah, that, and well, yeah, so I can also help you in awakening your magic and learn to initially kind of use it, so that you learning from the book itself will become easier. You start to thank her, and yeah, and she'd also say that once you read all the books and that, to bring elusive search this, and that you would and that she'd come and bring in some more books and take those books back. Yeah, so Naruto would nod at that, and yeah, from there they would get up, and Naruto would hug them one more time, thanking them for coming at this hour, and that, to which Lucifer would just kind of rub his hair after his hair, and would go, well, you're Mother and I were friends, so of course, Naruto, I'll look after you, and especially if you join Reese's peerage, then yeah, Naruto would somewhat just gain a slight smile at that, and would nod, and well, yeah, yeah, though after, well, though they would somewhat, well, yeah, though the next thing Naruto would see would be a kind of red, seemingly thing, form, in the, middle of his living room, to which the, two Lucifers would walk into, and yeah, to which they would to which Greyfur would simply, well, yeah, they don't, yeah, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow. Naruto would go, yeah, bye, and they'd somewhat vanish, and yeah, Naruto would go, and would somewhat look slightly forward to, as he'd think, whilst it isn't chakra, whilst it isn't exactly chakra, I'd be able to at least use a form of energy again, and yeah, and so from there, the next day, yeah, after the academy ended, Kiba, Kiba would come, and though the guys would obviously go, talk like they did, and yeah, though Issa would kind of grumble about pretty looking boys and that, and getting all these girls' attentions, to which Naruto would just shake his head, though he'd walk in telling the girls that he wasn't there for them, and he'd call out for Issa and Naruto to follow him. Issa would be surprised, as he realised that Kiba was, or at least that, well, yeah, was the person that Reese had sent, and while he was curious to know why somewhat Naruto was kind as well, was Naruto a devil as well? Did the somewhat person who kind of stabbed him through the gut again, annoying, or did the somewhat person who stabbed him through the gut last night kill Naruto? And if so, we kind of sort of felt a bit bad at turning Naruto into a devil, or getting him indirectly turned into a devil. And yeah, as they'd sort of walk out, and once Naruto, or at least Naruto, after walking for a bit and noticing that there was nobody really around, or at least in earshot, Naruto would sort of whisper to, or at least would sort of ask kind of Kiba, sort of quietly, to sort of what piece was he, which trying to, sort of Naruto trying to, piece together what potential piece he may be, or he may potentially get if sort of Reus were to offer him. And of course, sort of in Reus's mind, that last somewhat night, that should sort of be kind of only sort of sad at the moment. Sort of seeing obviously someone, presumably sort of blind-eyed person who was in a Kuro Academy uniform, male uniform. Yeah, so as you'd teleport, to Issei, and those scenes, somewhat the Devilman, or at least though she was sort of somewhat pensive, as was he the person who attacked Issei, though when similarly when she'd seen they somewhat personally, she knew it was maybe both of them, though the person would somewhat go grammary in a somewhat slightly more a kind of hate-filled way, to which the boy would go, or at least somewhat she'd hear him somewhat Naruto go, I'm no grammary, no behind you. Sort of in kind of a somewhat way that clearly told, or at least indicated to her that the person in front of her was an ally to her friend, not our friend, but ally or neutral party, and was an enemy to the person in front, which was probably fallen angel, or that to which person would sort of spout some of these sort of devil's fallen angel wings and would leave, and and then from there sort of turn around, and though when the person sort of flew kind of away, you could see that the person had clearly lost a few teeth, which meant that Naruto was definitely sort of strong, maybe, and so much he knew all these kids around, not really kids, though teens, sort of around, or at least potentially his age, or at least the age he looked like, didn't have, or at least somewhat in a somewhat mind, didn't have the exact sort of strength to be able to, actually, take out a few missing teeth from a punch, which would mean that Naruto may potentially have a sacred gear and that, and so you kind of, and obviously somewhat, so you just ended up kind of deciding that you would, roll, somewhat to take the charge and take Naruto into some peerage if he were to accept, and though anyway, back with Kiba would sort of be kind of surprised and would wonder how enough Naruto knew to him. Naruto didn't somewhat know from what Reus, or at least from Reus had told him, Naruto was truly, or at least somewhat actually a human, and thus wouldn't know. He'd ask who told someone, though he'd say somewhat knight. Pretty sure he's a knight, because knights are warp speed. He's somewhat a knight. And Naruto would somewhat just, I don't know, I need to state that he wouldn't say, to which he'd somewhat slightly narrow his eyes, to which Naruto would go, because somewhat, it'd be better to somewhat say it once than more, it'd be better to say once than more than somewhat once, and it'd go, I see, it wasn't holding it back, it was just wanting to only say it once, and yeah. And so they would somewhat arrive, and yeah, there's as Kit would push open the door and that, to obviously somewhat show them that, there's a place and that. Yeah, and afterwards notice someone go, Kanako, someone Kanako-chan to it. Kanako would someone look up and over to the door, obviously someone hearing it also open, go, Naruto. And yeah, someone Kiba would be somewhat surprised they knew one another. And so, though Issa would somewhat immediately turn around and go, wow, you somewhat know him? Somewhat you know her, Naruto? How do you know Kuro's Academy's mascot? And we'd go, well, she's somewhat my Ollie's, she somewhat lives in somewhat the part of the somewhat apartment complex, so yes, I occasionally see her when I'm also somewhat leaving for the somewhat academy or that. And yeah, he'd go, and well, yeah, so he'd somewhat just kind of talk. And, but yeah, they were somewhat, I'd probably say they were somewhat, they knew each other, they were somewhat school, well, but not, well, yeah, I guess you'd somewhat call them school, school friends, not really actual kind of sort of friends you'd friends you'd hang out with outside of school, but someone you'd maybe talk to, sort in meet, in part, when you sort of passing them by or that. And yeah. Anyway, those sort from there, I've got sort of what's name. Yeah, so I can know would sort of end up entering with some tea and that, and would go, it's somewhat nice to kind of meet you. So as somewhat this would sort of formed of both sort of Naruto and Issei, and yeah. And yeah, though somewhat from there, they would somewhat sit down, and well, yeah, so though after a bit, Reese would obviously somewhat get out and would obviously somewhat kind of dry herself and would start simply sort of getting dressed and kind of sort of walking forward for them towards somewhat seeing naked, which Naruto would somewhat immediately kind of go wide-eyed and would somewhat devise kind of somewhat eyesight to, much to somewhat though his dismay, though the person very much next to him, Issei would somewhat go somewhat wide-eyed and would kind of somewhat start, and well, yeah, Naruto would kind of see that he was clearly staring, so that he was somewhat blessed, so Naruto would sort of clench his fist and would whack him sort of over the head, which would kind of somewhat, he'd go, hey, what is that for? And they'd somewhat start arguing about morals and that. Slightly though something that would go, geez, though you two are just damn perverts. Why do I always seem to find perverts? And yeah, those they was just kind of stare at him, and this would go, and how am I a pervert? Quite simple, because someone walked out in front of everyone naked, knowing that there were somewhat males in the thing, and whilst your period thing may be somewhat, you may, some grandmas may see it as a sort of family, but I'm not a part of it, and that should be on the deemed as a perverted thing. Should go, well, no, you have me there now, though she would somewhat mentally wondering, now, we shouldn't know about periods, how does he know? Does somewhat, did he already somewhat know? And yeah, maybe someone did, though. Yeah, those somewhat should finished getting dressed, and yeah, though to which Naruto told her that he'd only sort of tell her once she's actually dressed, and so she'd sort of get dressed, and hearing something the sound of something shouting, he'd look up and she'd be sort of already walking over and sit down. Though once everyone was sort of sitting down, she'd then sort of ask once more, or at least Naruto, or at least how did he know, to which he'd state that Sarge's Lucifer, aka, or at least no, Sarge's Lucifer told him himself, to which Chris would go, "What? How do you know about my? How do you know something about your brother?" Well, when I was much younger, well, after my parents passed, who's a friend of my mum, so he ended up offering me a place to stay for free, and he'd always kind of check up on me every month, and still does to this day, every month. And she just nod, and he'd state that the night when, or at least last night when he'd kind of returned home, he's only got 2 contacts in phone, one being Issei and the other being brother, and then kind of roughly told him that he called Lucifer his friend, and told him, or at least he came half an hour later with wife, introduced to wife, Greyfair, and then then told him everything, then was told and got the full explanation. And she'd nod at that, and though of course Issei wouldn't be able to kind of follow, though to which she'd fully explain to Issei, and Issei would be shocked that pretty much everyone minus Naruto was a devil, and he was as well, though. And though she would obviously state that if he becomes a high-ranking devil, he'd be able to become he'd be able to have his own peerage, and into which he'd realise would mean he'd his dream of having a harem and becoming a harem king was very much possible, and though from there, she'd then offer Naruto to join a peerage, to which he'd he'd nod, and though she'd ask him potentially around though I forget her name. Kaneko would or at least Bishop. She wouldn't you couldn't really see Naruto as a bishop, though that was a rook or potentially a knight, and I was thinking about it. Kaneko would offer, or at least would tell Rias that Naruto may fit the rook better. Though Naruto would go, "Oh, how so, Kaneko-chan?" As Kaneko would simply state that he, or at least is that he was seemingly somewhat more that or at least the rook's boost in strength would probably be a lot more helpful than the knight's boost in speed. And though he'd just shrug, and to which though we should think slightly about that, or at least we'd nod and go, and we'd pull out the rook piece, and though after, or at least giving it to Naruto, and Naruto holding it to how Grayson would instruct him to. should then somewhat do the ritual and that would thus become a part of a peerage. And yeah, from there should somewhat explain kind of their duty, or at least somewhat what at least they'd somewhat be kind of doing, and yeah, so from there matter, so at least they would take some sort of flies and would start, or at least would somewhat leave to kind of somewhat hand them out. And with that, I'm going to end this part here, guys. So if you have enjoyed this part, do tell me in the comments down below. And of course, if you want this to become a series, and if you want part 2, then do say. And if you guys do want this, then you may get part 2 Wednesday. So yeah, guys. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, guys. Hope you guys have a good day or night, depending on whenever you whenever you watch this and wherever your you are. Hope you guys, yeah. Jeez. I hope you guys have a good day or night, depending on wherever you are and whenever you watch this, and good. Bye!